Hi everyone, welcome to Lola's Frugal Life. This is episode number 124. This is my weekly meal plan episode. So please stick around for a few quick words from our sponsor and we'll get right into the show. Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly meal plan episode. If you haven't listened before, each week what I do is share with everybody the meal plan that I have for my family for the upcoming week. You can follow the meal plan, or you can just use it to get some ideas for some things you might want to make, or maybe just for motivation to get your meal plan in order. The reason I think a meal plan is really important is because it saves money because you're not buying things you don't need. It saves you energy in trying to figure out what's for dinner, and it just makes life a lot easier. So I think meal planning is really important. So I thought it might be fun to share with everybody each week, so that's what I do. The meal plan is just dinners. I don't really plan lunches or breakfast. Once in a while, I'll plan a lunch or a breakfast, but not usually. For lunches, we pretty much just use leftovers or make sandwiches or things like that, frozen pizza, whatever. I do follow a meal rotation, so it's not a whole lot of variety over the course of the weeks, just to let you know. It's pretty simple. Most of the recipes are pretty simple. For example, we do hamburgers every other Monday. We do tacos every other Tuesday, things like that. I do mix in different recipes here and there, but for the most part, a lot of it is going to be a simple, repetitive meal plan of what we eat, which I try and keep simple. So like I said, I'm not always doing new recipes. These are things that we like to eat. So I think that's pretty much everything that I usually share. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about the meal plan. I think that's it. Anyway, so the meal plan starts on Saturday. I shop on Thursdays. So I always put this episode out Wednesday morning. That way, if you were going to follow along with the plan, you'll have plenty of time to get your shopping list together before you go grocery shopping and before you started the recipes, which start on Saturday. So this meal plan starts on Saturday, November 21st. And on Saturday, we're going to be doing crock-pot chicken cacciatore. That's from skinnytaste.com. And it's pretty much just like bone-in chicken thighs with crushed tomatoes, bell peppers, and onion. And it just makes like a really nice cacciatore sauce, with the chicken thighs. They kind of fall apart in the sauce, and then you just have to take the bones out. And then you could serve it with spaghetti or whatever kind of pasta you like. It's a really good, quick, easy meal, and the sauce comes out really good from simmering in the crock pot all day. Then Sunday, okay, so here's a poor planning on my part. I try not to do two super, super similar meals back to back, and this isn't really a similar meal, but it's two Italian meals back to back, and I sometimes don't notice that until I'm actually looking at my finalized meal plan. So anyway, for Sunday I had Italian baked eggplant parmesan. So that is from allrecipes.com. This is a fried version of eggplant parm. I've tried many of the baked ones. I mean, you bake the ultimate dish, but like when you're cooking the eggplant itself, I've tried some where you bake the eggplant in the oven, like in layers, and then you put the parm together after and bake it, that way. But it just never seems to come out as good. Maybe if someone has a really good eggplant parm recipe that the eggplant isn't fried, if you could share it with me, I'd love to have it, because it is a little bit of work to fry the eggplant. And not only that, I'd rather not have it fried because it does absorb a lot of oil. But we don't have it often, so it's not too bad. But that's what we're doing for that day. So it's called Italian eggplant. The recipe is called Italian baked eggplant with Parmesan, and it's from allrecipes.com. So that's for Sunday. Monday is hamburger night, so we're doing hamburgers. I don't have a recipe for that. I just basically take ground beef and make it into hamburger patties. I don't go crazy. I'll sometimes put some McCormick hamburger seasoning on it. Sometimes I forget, and they're just plain ground beef patties. I don't really get too crazy with the hamburgers. They pretty much just taste good no matter what. And then I'm also doing homemade black bean veggie burgers for my one daughter who doesn't eat meat. Those are pretty quick and easy homemade veggie burgers if you do have someone that likes veggie burgers or that is a vegetarian. That's from allrecipes.com also. And I just think it's better than, I mean, I do buy the store-made stuff sometimes, like the Morningstar Farms and some of those things. But I just don't like her to eat those a whole lot just because, I don't know, I feel like there's got to be a lot of preservatives and other things in them. So I like to make them homemade occasionally too. And these bake right in the oven, so they're really quick and easy to make. So I will be making those also. So she'll have that, and we'll have the hamburgers. I'm also making oven fresh seasoned potato wedges. That's also from allrecipes.com. This is one of our favorite sides to go with hamburgers. You pretty much just take a potato and cut it into like eighths, like wedges. And, well, not a potato, but a few potatoes. And then you put them in like a Ziploc bag with like olive oil, onion powder, garlic powder, Parmesan cheese, all that kind of stuff. And you shake it up, and then you lay them out on a baking sheet and you bake them, and they come out really good, especially as a side dish with the hamburgers. And then we're also just doing a can of pork and beets on the side with that. Tuesday's our Chipotle night. Again, not takeout. We do like a homemade version of Chipotle where I don't really have a recipe for this one again, but what I do is I just take some chicken and I cut it up in small little pieces, and I toss it with a little olive oil, some seasoned salt and chili powder, and I broil it until it gets almost just a little bit crispy. And then we just do like brown rice, salsa, avocado, cheese, sour cream, like all that kind of stuff, black beans, like all the type of stuff that you would make like a rice bowl, like a Chipotle type bowl. And that's what we have for our Chipotle night. So we do that every other week on the alternate Tuesdays where we're not doing tacos. So it's either tacos or Chipotle every other week. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're doing oven fried breaded pork chops. That's from skinnytaste.com. These come out really pretty good. They're a baked breaded pork chop, and they're coated with half panko breadcrumbs and half crushed cornflake crumbs. They come out really good. The coating comes out pretty crispy for them being baked. And it's a fairly new recipe for me that I've definitely been making more often and keeping in my meal rotation. And then on the side with that, we're just going to do a bag of egg noodles, just like egg noodles with butter, and then carrot fries. So the carrot fries are from foodnetwork.com. They're called carrot fries with ketchupy ranch. I never make the dressing, I just make the carrot fries. But they come out really good. They almost taste like a sweet potato fry, but what it is it's just a carrot cut up into like pieces that would be like the size of like a fry. And I make them in the air fryer. This recipe is actually, I'm just trying to see, is this recipe for the air fryer? No, this recipe is actually for the oven, but I just make them in the air fryer because it's just quick and easy. But you could do them either way if you don't have an air fryer. But they're basically like French fries made out of carrot, so they're a little bit healthier, but they don't really taste so much like a carrot. I mean, I guess they kind of do, but they have like kind of like, they're very similar to like a sweet potato fry. So we're going to do those on the side with the pork chops and the egg noodles. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. For Thursday, I will let you know what we have on our Thanksgiving menu. We're going to be eating Thanksgiving at home. So we are doing, I have an electric roaster oven that I am going to cook my turkey in. So I got kind of like a smaller-ish turkey because it's just going to be my family, like my immediate family. So we're going to do the turkey in the roaster oven. And then I'm not making these, I'm buying these, but we're going to also have scallops wrapped with bacon because my husband really loves that. He loves seafood, and we don't normally do too much seafood on Thanksgiving, but I thought that would be fun to just pick them up. They have like the really good ones at like BJ's where I get like that type of stuff. They have just like the frozen ones that you pop in the oven. So I was going to grab a box of those, and he can have that also with the meal. The reason I'm doing the turkey in the oven is, not in the oven, in the roaster ovens, because it just makes it a lot easier for me with being able to put other things in the oven throughout the course of the day and not having the turkey in there for like hours and hours. So we're also doing Parmesan butternut squash gratin. That's from bettycrocker.com. I really love this recipe. I don't if you like butternut squash, I think it's a really good recipe. It's basically you take butternut squash, which definitely is a pain in the neck to peel. So this isn't like the simplest easy to make, just because butternut squash is kind of awkward, and peeling it and chopping it is a little bit of work, but it's not too bad. But the peeling is probably the worst. But you peel it and you slice it into like not wedges, like you cut it in half, and then you cut it in half lengthwise, like long ways, and then you slice it. So you have like these little like half moon type pieces of butternut squash, and you kind of lay them out in a baking dish, and then you top it with it's like with melted butter and panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, and you bake it. So it's like an au gratin type dish. I really like it. I pretty much make it every Thanksgiving now. It's one of those go-to Thanksgiving recipes that like we always make. And if we're going somewhere, I bring that sometimes too. So it's really good. You might want to try it if you like butternut squash. I'm also doing easy holiday stuffing. I don't have a recipe link for this one, but I can tell you the recipe really quickly. So with this, you put everything into the crock pot, except for the bread, and then you put the bread in, toss it up, and then you cook it in the crock pot on low for, I say for 6 hours or less. It's something that you kind of have to keep an eye on because you don't want the bread to start burning. But what you do is you take 1 cup of melted butter, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, a teaspoon of sage, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of chicken bouillon granules, 2 eggs beaten, and 2 cups of water. You mix them all in the bottom of your crock pot. Then you're going to take 12 cups of bread cubes. Like I usually will get like a couple loaves of Italian bread, and you want to like let it sit out for a couple days so that it gets stale. And then you're going to just cut it up into little cubes, put it in the crock pot, toss all that like butter and water mixture on it. If you find you need more water, because if it's not coating enough, just add a little bit more water. And then you just let it cook, and it comes out really good. It's just like homemade stuffing, big bread cubes. It just comes out really good. Obviously, I'm not making it in the bird. It's just we're serving it on the side. But it's something to try if you don't have a stuffing recipe. We really like it. We always make that for our family, and a couple different people in our family always make it too. It's kind of like one of those things that's a big hit. We're also doing creamy cheese spinach. Again, I don't have a recipe link for this. It's something my family's always made, but I can tell you this really quick too. Everybody loves this also. With this, you just put everything in the crock pot in the order that I'm going to say, and you put it on low for 4 to 5 hours. So you take 2 packages of frozen chopped spinach, 16 ounces of small curd cottage cheese, a 1/4 cup of sliced butter, a half a pound of cubed American cheese, 3 eggs beaten, a 1/4 cup of flour, and a half a teaspoon of salt. You put it all in the crock pot, just like that. Put the lid on, cook it for 4 to 5 hours on low. And it just makes this really yummy, like really cheesy spinach dish that we just all love. We always have it for Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything. So that's that. This whole episode is going to be the Thanksgiving menu. Then we're also doing Chef John's Perfect Mashed Potatoes. That's from allrecipes.com. I've shared this recipe before in other regular meal plans. It's just my favorite easy way to make potatoes, mashed potatoes. You just cut the potatoes, you peel them, you cut them in half lengthwise, and you boil them, and you drain them, turn the heat back on high to get some of the water out, and then you add like your butter and milk, and they just seem to come out really good that way. It tells you in the recipe the process, but they're just super simple and easy, and you don't have to sit there cutting up your potatoes in like all these small pieces. So that's like our main dish and our sides. Then we're going to do Instant Pot Pumpkin Cheesecake, which is from sugarysweets.com, but it's sugar, SHUGARY, like spelled like that, sugarysweets.com. We made this last year. This is an Instant Pot recipe, so if you don't have an Instant Pot, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to make this one. But if you do, this cheesecake just comes out so good. I felt like it tasted like it was from like Cheesecake Factory. It was like that really creamy kind of cheesecake, and it came out really good. So we're definitely going to do this again this year. I actually just shared this recipe the other day on our private listeners group because I wanted to make sure everybody had it in case they were interested in it, because it came out so good. Like, we thought it just came out really good, and we had never made cheesecake before. So me and my daughter made it, and we just really liked it. And then I'm also going to do for an adult drink. I made this last year. It kind of got popular last year because I think they came out with like a pre-made mix for this, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's Puerto Rican coquito. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This recipe that I have is from allrecipes.com, but it's really easy. It's like a Christmas kind of drink, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of have it for Thanksgiving, just to kick off the holiday season. And it's like a drink made with sweetened condensed milk, rum, and coconut milk, and then it's got like cinnamon and a pinch of salt and a little bit of water. But yeah, that's the recipe if you're interested in that. We're having that with for Thanksgiving too, probably with our desserts or whatever. And then Black Friday, we are doing fried flounder. No recipe for that. It's just, I just buy flounder and bread it. I usually buy the individually frozen pieces, like the big bag that they'll have at like Costco or BJ's or whatever. And with that, we're doing the 5-ingredient Instant Pot mac and cheese. That's a recipe I share all the time on here. I definitely keep that in the meal rotation occasionally. It's super easy to make. That's from foodnetwork.com. It's just a really quick and easy mac and cheese that you can make in the Instant Pot. And then we're also just going to do a bag of frozen vegetables on the side, whatever I happen to have on hand. I always have some kind of frozen vegetable, like a steam fresh type vegetable in the freezer. So that's it for this week's meal plan. I hope this is helpful to you. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget, if you want to reach me, you can reach me through my Facebook page. You can message me. Episode suggestions, anything like that would be helpful. Any feedback. The Facebook page is facebook.com/LolasFrugalLife. If you're interested in joining the private listeners group, that can be found at facebook.com/groups/LolasFrugalLife. I check it pretty much every day, and you'll be admitted as soon as I see your request. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like this show. And please, if you wouldn't mind leaving me a 5-star rating, it'd be much appreciated. It's supposed to really help with others finding the show. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a really awesome day.